It's Friday, it's fly tying time again, and the feedback we're getting on the channel is fantastic. Thank you very much. So now to inspire you a little bit more, it's time to put a buzzer under the bung. This fly I'm tying is a buzzer. Great way of fishing, and you can fish it straight line nymphing. But the other popular way of fishing it is bung fishing. Now this is quite controversial. Some people saying, well, it's float fishing and it's nothing more than coarse fishing. Look, my opinion is, if you like fishing it, fish it. If you don't like it, well, let everybody else that enjoys fishing it carry on fishing with it. So I fish it and it is very effective. Now, why is it effective? Well, it keeps your flies at a certain level. My setup for this would normally be from the fly line to the bung. It would be about 3 foot, if maybe less. Then from there, I would actually put 3.5 foot. So from the bung to the first fly, 3.5 foot. Top dropper to the middle, 3.5 foot. And then middle fly to the point, 3.5 foot. So really, it's very, very simple. Now what I'm tying is a orange cheap buzzer. In my selection 4, which is the bung cast, it's a traffic light buzzer. So if you want to create a traffic light buzzer, what you would do is, before doing the rib, you'd put some holographic under here. So the holographic would show through the rib. That's why it's called a traffic light buzzer. Now then, what I'm going to do is just a rib, and this is a stripped peacock tail. You can do it yourself. Now if you've got peacock herl and you want to pull it off or strip it, well, there's one way you can put it through your finger and thumb and rub the fibers off. So I'll just lock that in place and just show you. Now that's how it comes normally. If you rub it between your finger and thumb, you'll see these starting to fall off. Makes a right mess in the fly tying room. Or if you're tying in your front room, you're going to get the wife shouting at you. The other thing is, sometimes it can leave little bits sticking out. And if you're using an epoxy or a varnish, a bug bond, or hard as nails, then any fibre sticking out on these, then it just upsets the way the fly looks, really. You can buy these, which are they're dipped, so no fibres left on them at all. Sometimes they can be brittle, and when you're tying on, they can just snap off. As you saw, it just snaps off there. Little tip for you, just before you tie them on, just moisten them a little bit or put them in a bit of water, and that will make sure that it goes on quite nicely. Right, we cut that off, and then the cheeks. This original pattern was called a crisp packet buzzer. And the reason for that is we used to use crisp packets. What I've got is goose biots dyed orange. And then that's all we're going to do is tie them in. One each side. Now when you're doing it, just make sure the outside of the biot will be really bright. Sometimes the inside is not as bright. So what you want to do is tie them so that the outside is on the outside. So you tie them in reverse. So tie one this side, and then what I'll do is turn the hook around a little bit and do the same thing with this one. Tie that one on that side, make sure it's the outside, and what you want to do is just tie them on the side, and then at this point make sure that you build up a little bit of a bulbous head. And with buzzers, a lot of people say, well, you've got to put some breathers at the top. 99% of my flies don't have any breathers, and I don't think it makes a blind bit of difference to the fish. Now with a bung, why is it so effective? Well, number one, that top fly, the bung, your strike indicator, keeps the flies at a certain level, and that's the good thing. You're keeping the flies in that fishing zone where the fish are cruising. So That's one thing. The other thing that it's so effective, sometimes fish are very, very subtle in their takes. And because you've got that indicator at the top, takes will be spotted very, very easily. Sometimes the takes are so subtle that if you've got a lot of fly line on the water, then it just doesn't register. But with that bung, it registers automatically. So you'll see it immediately. The other thing is, if you're boat fishing, then the bung will work your flies for you, because as they go up and down in the waves, when the bung goes up and down with the waves, with the boat, it actually makes your flies move up and down as well. So there we go. Now, this is where the hard work starts. You can either put, simple way of doing it, 1 coat of bug bond, UV light, done. Or you do 3-4 coats of hard as nails. And what I've tried to do with the bung selection is I've given you options, given you a few different colour bungs, which means one will work in certain lights and the other one will work in other lights, and then giving you all different selections of buzzers to hang underneath. And when you put it out there, keep a sharp eye on that strike indicator, and I'll guarantee you'll see a lot of fish put in the boat or on the bank. What was it? Buzzer is what? Are you rolling? Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. It's Friday. That means it's fly tying.